Hello yoga friends. We're going to concentrate on wrists for this next few minutes, and wrists are super important in a yoga practice. We need to maintain them, we need to have the flexibility around them and the strength and the movement. And also, of course, these are antidotes for our lifestyle, which has all to do with keyboarding and cooking and chopping and all the things that we do with our hands, and we want our hands to be available to us all the time without pain. So we're going to start with all fours. You're going to bring your wrists together. Some of you will not be able to do this exactly the same as me. You might have to be out on an angle, your elbows might be bent, but just do your best, and you can tuck your toes and bring your knees right underneath. Just check. Knees right underneath your hips, and this will give you some control of the intensity. We want to go to the edge of things with our wrists. We don't want to hurt them. We want to be able to use them after this few minutes of work. So have this control. Make sure you're breathing. So fingers are really wide, and we're just going to move from left to right. If you do a lot of down dogs and you do a lot of chaturangas, which are the yoga push-ups, modified or not, you'll want to keep these wrists very supple but strong. Those are the two things we're always aiming to do. So we're going to go from left to right. Undo your toes and sit back. And flip the palms of your hands. I get lots of feelings both with my wrists, my fingers, and my feet because I do a lot of yoga, but I'm also very sensitive to them. I can hear my wrists talking to me. I'm flipping the palms of my hands and letting my wrists kind of relax into my thighs, and this gives me a chance to let my shoulders down and give them a chance to have a breath. We're going to come back on all fours. Knees come back. You can have your toes tucked under as well. You're going to flip the palm of your right hand, and once again it depends on how your arm bone goes into your shoulder girdle. That will tell you whether or not this looks exactly like mine or not, or it's an adaptation. So ideally the middle finger is pointing to the back. We're going to use our breath. So fingers are wide, the wrist bone is parallel to the front of your mat right underneath your shoulder. We're going to inhale. You're going to push right shoulder forward. Your face actually ends up looking over your left hand. As your right hip moves back, you'll feel the space in the right side of your body and how you're crunching the left side. And then on an exhale, you come through. I'm doing this very slowly to show you. Inhale, right shoulder forward, right hip back. Exhale, come to neutral in the center. Inhale, right shoulder forward, right hip back. The head naturally moves. Exhale, come to neutral. Now use your eyes to do the next thing. You're going to look at your right hand, and you're going to move each finger into the palm of your hand. I can hear you groaning. Pull those fingers and thumbs. Look at your fingers and move each of them as best you can individually. I can't do it, but it's the thought that counts. Into the palm of your hand and squish. I can hear you groaning already. Make sure you're breathing. Again, right shoulder forward, inhaling, right hip back. Exhale, come to neutral. You're not putting so much weight on that right wrist that it's uncomfortable, but you are feeling all the movement. Right shoulder forward, right hip back. Come to neutral, exhale. Sit back. Flip the palms of your hands. Close your eyes. Any version of child's pose so that you can feel the tingly feeling all along your right arm. And if you think about it or you notice it, you're going to feel your right shoulder as well. It's the entire arm. So when we move our hands in this way, we are influencing the whole arm. Let's go on all fours again. Flip the left wrist bone down. Make sure that wrist bone is parallel. It's best you can to the top of your mat. Tuck your toes so that you're in control. And spread the left fingers as wide as you can. Now inhale, left shoulder goes forward, left hip goes back. Oh, that feels good. Crunch the right side, open up the left. Exhale, come to neutral. I heard a crack there. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. The head naturally moves to the side when you do this. Exhale, come to neutral. One more time for fun. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Exhale, come to neutral. Straighten that arm. I just noticed I kind of was throwing it out a little bit, so just check it out. And then look at your left hand and start moving. I'm so much better on this side. And notice if you have a better or worse side, but don't be too judgy. Bring your fingers into the palm of your hand. Oh. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Exhale, come to neutral. One more time, straighten. Inhale, left shoulder forward, left hip back. Exhale to neutral. Toes are tucked. Untuck your toes. Flip the palm of your hand. Ooh. To the ceiling and move into child's pose. It's even hard to speak through some of these. Feel the tingly feeling that is happening through your entire arm. Now we're really going to open up our fingers. You're going to start, and I like to tuck my toes, but it's up to you what you'd like to do or where you feel that you have control. We're going to take our fingertips. I'm going to start way back here. And you can bend your elbows here. And what we're trying to do is stretch the joints, the tendons, and the muscles in our fingers. So as slow as you can go. And a good strategy is to only move on your exhale. So you take a big inhale. And when you exhale, you imagine there's space, even though it's intense, and you inhale. You exhale, you move, and you continue. Some of you, this will be very, very intense, obviously. In order to really get this, I'm going to have to move my knees forward, trying to get my palms on the floor. It's very, very intense. Keep breathing. And then when you feel like you've got the palms on the floor and you feel the inside of your forearm, you can release, but do it slowly because we've just done so much work to open up these fingers. Sit back onto your heels, shoelace side of the feet. Bring your arms out, palms open to the ceiling. Feel. Whoa. Feel the circulation and all those tingly feelings that are telling you that things are woken up. Okay, we're going to go on opposite. So again, you're going to get your wrists to the top, parallel to the top. Tuck your toes. This time, you're going to see me move my knees back as I bend my elbows, and I'm going to go from the palm of my hand to stretch in a different way all those fingers. Oh. I'm not smiling, I'm trying to. Try to move on the exhale and you'll feel it. And then if you're able to bring your elbows to the floor, then go ahead and then flip. And then release. Thank you, yoga friends, for joining me, and I hope that your wrists and your fingers feel wide awake.